Hello, Abnormal Adventures. Abnormal Adventures, wow, that's a heck of a name. Abnormal Investigations, let's try that. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the first video drop today. The second one will be at 8 o'clock tonight. You're not going to want to miss that one, trust me. It's a violent attack by a dog man, so you're going to want to really listen to that one. I got a pretty good one right now. I want y'all to let me know what you think about it. And also, this Wednesday night at 8:45 p.m., we are planning a boots on the ground. And unless it rains or something, we're still planning on doing that. We had a person call in that told us about an encounter, and Sarah said we're on it. So we'll be boots on the ground Wednesday at 8:45, and I'm guessing we're probably still going to have the 2 video drops that day also. So a very busy day. Let's get into this encounter. Hello, Mike. I wanted to share an encounter with you. It's not really that long of an encounter, but it was a very terrifying encounter for me and my family. Me and my husband have worked very hard to get the house that we've always wanted in the country. We love the country, and we love the country life. And everything was going really well up until this evening. I had a routine as well as did my husband. So, this is a little of our life and a little of what happened to us in a small town here in Missouri. As I watched my kids play in the backyard, I feel grateful for this life we've built together. Our 2-year-old Emma is busy chasing butterflies while our 10-year-old Max is showing off his soccer skills. I cheer them on from the porch, feeling proud of the little people they're becoming. After a busy morning of playtime, snacks, and laundry, we settle in for a cozy afternoon of reading and arts and crafts. Emma giggles as she makes a mess with her crayons, while Max works on his latest Lego creation. I steal a moment to myself to enjoy a cup of coffee and catch up on a favorite book. As the day winds down, my husband John, who works all day, walks in the door exhausted but smiling. We share a quick kiss and he joins the chaos of playing a game of catch with Max and giving Emma a piggyback ride. I watch feeling grateful for this loving, chaotic life we've built together. My husband goes to bed early. He works hard all day and in the heat, so he likes to go to bed a little early, watch a few shows with the air conditioner on to kind of unwind and relax. And while he does that, I go for an evening walk. I place Emma in the stroller. With the sun setting over the rolling hills, I lace up my shoes and prepare for my evening walk. I gently place Emma in her stroller, making sure she's comfortable and secure. She looks up at me with them big eyes, excited for our adventure together. Will we find a turtle today, a frog, a snake, or a rabbit? You never know. Maybe sometimes even some deer. The road in front of our home is an old paved road, which makes it easy to push the stroller. On both sides of the road is barbed wire fence with fields and trees that have grown along the fence and tall grass where the ditches are rarely mowed in our county. The fresh air and the peacefulness of the evening calm my mind and rejuvenate my spirit. I take a deep breath, feeling the stress of the day melt away. Emma chatters and points at the birds and the trees, and I'm smiling, enjoying this special time with my little ones. We walk past the fields of golden wheat, the sky painted with hues of pink and orange. I feel grateful for this moment, Mike. It is so beautiful in this place we live. Savoring the beauty of the nature and the joy of motherhood, the world feels at peace. And I'm grateful for this simple yet profound pleasure. We were about a mile from home when it was getting dark. I started hearing heavy breathing and walking beside me in the field. It was staying in the row of trees along the ditch and following the barbed wire fence and the high weeds. My heart began to race as the heavy breathing and the footsteps kept pace with mine. I tried to tell myself it was just a deer or a stray dog. I reached into my pouch that I wear around my hips and I pulled my .38, carrying it in my hand. But the sound was too heavy to be deliberate. I quickened my pace, pushing the stroller faster as Emma looked up at me with wide eyes like, "Mom, why are we going so fast?" The breathing grew louder, the footsteps closer. I could feel the presence looming beside me. behind the trees. My mind raced with the worst-case scenarios as I scanned the darkness for any sign of movement, as the sun was now pretty far down and late evening was now coming on. The stars were starting to shine. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes fixed on me with an unblinking stare like I'd never seen before. My heart almost stopped in my chest. My hand tightened around the stroller handle. Emma began to whimper, sensing my fear. The figure took a step closer. It reaches out its hand for my son to take it, like any normal human would. I yelled to the top of my lungs, "No!" As the figure reached out a long, shadowy arm. I yelled, "No!" at the top of my lungs, my heart racing with fear. Emma let out a terrified wail, and the figure hesitated. Its eyes was now focused on Emma. For a moment, I was frozen in fear. Then the figure slowly withdrew its arm, its eyes never leaving mine. It stood there, looking at me. Then it looked at Emma and used its fingers and pointed at her, and then held its hand open like, "Come here." Emma was crying, and I screamed at it again, "Get out of here." And I was crying also and screaming. And that's when my son, it noticed him. It raised its finger and made the motion, "Come here." And I shouted at it again, and I said, "In God's name, I will kill you if you do not leave us alone." And when I said that, it looked at me, bared its teeth, screamed, ran, and jumped the fence with ease. I was terrified. I ran with the stroller in front of me, pushing it as fast as I could while holding my son's hand. When we made it home, I busted into the house and I told my husband. John's eyes widened as I recounted the details, his expression of mixed disbelief and concern. "Are you sure it wasn't just a bear or homeless person?" he asked, trying to rationalize what I had seen. But I knew exactly what I had seen. It was no man. It was no ordinary animal or a human. Even now, as I look back on that day, I can't shake the feeling of dread that settled in the pit of my stomach. The thought of those long, hairy fingers wrapped around my child's small hands, it's a nightmare that still haunts me. We have not to this day had another encounter, and we pray we never do. We also had our preacher come out and bless our property and our home. But the way that this creature stepped out, and it stuck its hand out for my children to take its hand, the way that it told them to come here like it was okay, I just kept thinking, this creature has seen this either done before, or it's something that it has done before. I hope we never see this creature again. Our walks are now ended. We do not walk no more. And if we do, it is with my husband, which is well armed. You never know what you're going to encounter, Mike, until it happens. I'm glad you and the kids were okay, and I have experienced exactly what you said at my granny's. A lot of my younger cousins, one of them in particular, his name was, well, we're not going to say her name because it'll probably, people after it could cause trouble. But it did stick its hand out at her and make the motion for her to come here out of the tall grass of the field. I've talked about that before. I think they do this to try to get the kids to come to them so that they can take the children. This was a pretty brave one to be able to step out like that and just try to take your children from you, but it probably felt like, you know, you're a woman alone out there, and it felt like it had the advantage. We have to be careful and always be prepared, and like we always say, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner.